Now, one of the reasons that made things better is we were saying, we believe you are competent and capable to do these things. If you're around a person that's depressed, one of the greatest things you can do is help them to feel competent and capable, because that's one of the things that dies in the depressed state. From New Life Ministries, this is Going Deeper with Stephen Arterburn. I'm Stephen Arterburn. And Going Deeper is all about taking the tough issues, the hard issues of life, looking a little bit deeper inside so that we can gain some insight into our lives. Hi, Steve Arterburn here, and thank you for joining me for Going Deeper. We've been going deeper into this area of depression to try to understand it better for ourselves, but certainly for somebody that's close to us or that we care about. Most of this comes from this great little book, Understanding and Loving a Person with Depression. You know, one of the things that Linda Hunter and I presented in this book is a concept that I think it's fairly easy to understand, but we forget it. Thinking causes us to feel a certain way. You don't just think something, but the thinking has feelings that go with it. If you think you're inferior to other people, there's going to be some really crummy feelings that go along with that. If you think you can never meet up to people's expectations, because maybe you could never meet up to your parents' expectations, if that's what you think, then you're going to feel that way. So what I'm saying is, you could, in most cases, pin a negative, distorted thought with the negative feeling that you have. So if that is true, then what we would want to do is try, every time we have this feeling come over us, this sensation of sadness or depression, we'd want to stop long enough to say, wait a second, what's the feeling that I'm feeling in association with that? What is that feeling, and what is that thought that's going with that feeling? What am I thinking that's causing me to feel this way? Now, I got to tell you, when my previous wife had an affair, I confronted her, she divorced me. So what thoughts started to enter? I'll never survive this. I'm finished with ministry. No one will listen to me. All these horrible, horrible negative thoughts that just sank into me and just continued to drive me down. And it was only when I was able to get some help, cognitive, behavioral therapy, where I could start to change my thinking and grieve the loss that I had, the combination of those, then I was able to come out of that depression. So let's look at some of this distorted thinking. You know, Dr. Daniel Amen works with us on radio, does some of our workshops with us, and he talks about ants that you have, automatic negative thoughts that we have that just come up, and they are distortions of thinking. Here's what all or nothing thinking is: a distortion. It's either black or it's white. It's either perfect or it's failure. It's either big victory, total loser. Competent in all areas or inadequate in every area. So we can have this all or nothing, black or white thinking that's really hard to live with, because we're always judging which extreme it is. Here's another thing that happens. One day a person is all good to me. Then they do something here or there. Now they're all bad. And it might take them a month of goodness to convince me that I can let them back in to my life if I'm all or nothing in my thinking about people. Overgeneralization is, this is really part of racism, where I just generalize about everybody when it's just one person maybe that has a problem. Or if one negative thing happens, then I believe that everything bad's going to happen. I have a splinter in my finger, and I think if I don't treat it properly, inflammation will set in, and I'm going to have a heart attack because I have a splinter that causes pain and inflammation. Overgeneralization combined with catastrophizing, where I generalize and make the worst out of everything, can put me and keep me in a depressed mood. And then the mental filter that people have, where I see something that might be good. Let's just say somebody says, hey, you're going to get a promotion. I just heard it. I overheard some people talking about you're going to get a promotion. So here's how I filter that. Yeah, I'll probably be fired the first week because I can't do it. Or it's probably going to be so stressful, this new thing, I'm going to shut down and my depression is going to get worse. So that's a distortion of thinking. Another one is jumping to conclusions, or what I call, it's not mind reading, but it's mind assuming, where I assume I know exactly what the other person is thinking at all times about all things. And so I just assume these things, and I'm most likely very, very wrong. You can see that if I have these distorted thinking patterns, I'm not very reliable as a source of hope and help for myself. If these distorted thinking patterns take over my life, then I'm going to feel very, very, not just helpless, but I'm going to feel very, very inadequate, and I'm going to feel like nothing is going to ever improve my life, and in fact, maybe there's no need to improve my life. So what I need is I need somebody to come alongside of me, and I need them to kind of live with me and help me and guide me to get the help that I need, because I'm probably not in this depressed state. I'm probably not going to just do it on my own. So the person who knows or lives with the depressed person is so vital, and you don't want to ever give up on them. They need you to persevere with them. You don't want to be abused by them. You can't let them treat you any way possible. But do whatever you can when you want to run to stay connected to those folks because they need you. Then maybe you can do a little research and show them medication isn't going to hurt you. It's not going to addict you. You're not going to have to stay on it the rest of your life. Therapists aren't the Antichrist. They're not out to do harm. They really are valid believers who want to help folks with their training in the area of counseling. Maybe you can help them overcome some of those roadblocks so that they end up, if they need medication, they get it, and they end up, if they need counseling, which I believe they do, they can get that also. One of the great privileges of my life is that we had 32 psychiatric centers when we started New Life Ministries. It was called New Life Treatment Centers. And whereas in many psych programs, people would sit around and wait for maybe group therapy or individual therapy once or a day or something like that, we were active. People got up at 8, they went to breakfast, they were involved in seminars, meetings, they had projects to do, they were active. Now, one of the reasons that made things better is we were saying, we believe you are competent and capable to do these things. If you're around a person that's depressed, one of the greatest things you can do is help them to feel competent and capable, because that's one of the things that dies in the depressed state. Thanks for joining me for this. Next time we're going to talk about, go deeper into the area of depression. I hope you'll find it helpful. In the meantime, if you're depressed, or if you have somebody that's depressed, you could order this book, Understanding and Loving a Person with Depression. You can call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have counselors all over the country that want to help you get over whatever it is you're going through. I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me for Going Deeper. I hope something I've said may have helped just a little bit. If you have a question you'd like me to answer or comment, just email me at stevesocial@newlife.com. I'll see you next time.
If you want to support Going Deeper with Stephen Arterburn, be sure to subscribe so you never miss another episode. And if you know someone who would benefit from this episode, be sure to share it with them. See you on the next Going Deeper with Stephen Arterburn from New Life Ministries.